Hello to all you beautiful nerds and welcome back from traveling the vast nerd universe. I am back. I am glad to be back with a new beauty video and hoping a new series to be added. And that is known as Beauty Forgotten. I am looking into brands that have not been mentioned much over time over here on YouTube because we tend to have so many influencers always want to talk about different brands from the prestige area or more indie brands, and there are some brands that seem to have been forgotten, pretty much been pushed to the wayside. And today's brand I'm talking about is Coastal Scents. Coastal Scents is a very budget-friendly makeup brand, and they tend to sell a lot of brushes, makeup palettes, whether it's face, eyes, and of course you have your customizable palettes where you could buy shadow pans, blush and bronzer pans, even concealer pans to go into a magnetic palette. So, yeah, I kind of feel like this brand is one of those that got forgotten. Heck, they used to be in BoxyCharm, Birchbox, and Ipsy, but I hardly see them being offered anymore. And I kind of feel sad about that because I tend to see them go on sale. Now I kind of feel like not many of their palettes are available like they used to be, and I see a lot more of their shadow pots, even though they kind of changed some out for different ones, and they're pretty good. I've been using a customizable palette for my eyeshadow routine for almost every day when I go to work. Since now I'm at home with this whole entire social distancing thing, I get to play a little bit more with makeup and do a little bit more videos along the way. And this is a series that I wanted to feature more brands that are out there, since I kind of feel like we're overrun by so many of them at the moment and so many new releases, like I said before, that we tend to forget a few. And again, Coastal Scents is one of them. I got into these guys all thanks to getting their Forever Blush Duo back in my very first Ipsy bag in August of 2014, and then a few months later I got their Revealed One in my BoxyCharm in my very first one, which was December 2014, and got into their brand. I bought a few of their brush sets. The one that I'm going to be using, it was on sale recently. It's their Elite brush set. It comes with 24 brushes, which is like that. It's pretty big. It's hard to hold. Usually this goes for $50, but I got this for $25 on sale. And the thing is, you get 24 brushes, and these brushes are pretty well made. I've been using a few Coastal Scents brushes through Ipsy as well. I remember getting their 22 brush set through their offers page, and great thing is they're like I said, well made, and especially these, because they feel a little bit weighted in their handle. I just held up the tapered powder brush, and the only sets I've remembered, I did try out the vegan brush set from Morphe, and the closest brush sets that you could get from them to this price range is, of course, the Jacqueline Complexion Master, which is originally $52, now it's $26 on Ulta. And the James Charles eye set, which is usually $59, but now it's $29 on Ulta. And except those sets come with a few brushes, unlike this one, you got more to work with. And I kind of feel like this is worth it, especially if you're a makeup artist. Mainly, I got it because I like brushes and it's good to try new ones. And another good sale they tend to have is, of course, the Hot Pot sale. And they usually ran for $1.99, but now they're running for $3, and they're usually good on being half off. And you can also either get your own Z palette, or you can get one of their magnetic palettes. And they could also be purchased on Amazon as well. So I am going to use some of the products I also purchased from this brand, including this little lovely, which is known as their 26 eye and face palette, which is a very neutral type palette. I used to have a lot more of these, but I find them on their website as much as I did, but at least I got this one. So first step is, of course, primer. I did do my brows. I did not get any brow products because I didn't want to go through the didn't want to get a brow palette because it would be hard for me to know which color to go with. But I did do my brows before doing this video, and I used my $1 Billion Brows set, which I did finish the clear brow gel from that. But of course, I did buy the Step 1 eye primer from Coastal Scents, which looks like this. It's a little tubey. Let's see how it goes. Ooh, it's nice and smooth. Not too bad, because I did try out the e.l.f. New putty eyeshadow primer recently. I did not like it because it was too dry, and I find this one better than that one. I did toss it, unfortunately, because I couldn't stand it. In my regular makeup routine, I am using the Lorac eyeshadow primer that came with my Pro Palette 1 recently, all thanks to 21 Days of Beauty. But this primer is pretty creamy, not too heavy. I will give you my thoughts of all the products together towards the end of this video. Okay, so, and of course I am using some of the brushes from this Elite brush set. This brush set, their handles are pretty well made because they're the bamboo type handles, and bamboo handles are pretty strong. There's that palette, sorry about that. Okay, with the Elite Large Shadow Brush, I am gonna go into the second shade of this palette, which is a light pink. Let's go. Not too bad on the application on top of this primer, because sometimes when you put on primer, it doesn't want to go on. Because when I did use the putty primer from e.l.f., for the eyes, I mean, because I also have the face one. It was, I didn't know if it was working out, and I kind of did a wipe off test and had gone to see if it is showing up on the makeup wipe. You know what? I am just gonna call him Richard, since in our Let's Plays he's going by his actual name. So Richard was like, yes, it is appearing on the makeup wipe. Not too bad of an application so far. What I seem to like about these eyeshadows, they don't kick up as badly as most palettes because they're more of a deeper pan. Even the cardboard palettes have deeper pans, but some of them do kick up. But these more sturdy palettes have more of a deeper pan to them, which I will talk about, what they should do to be more noticeable to the public. And for another bit of shadow, I do sometimes get fallout from some of the shadows, like some of the blue pans that I use for any of my blue outfits for work. Okay, next shade in this palette I'll be using, I'm going in with the Shimmery Raisin shade, and this is the Elite Flat Shadow brush. Let's see how well it goes. This brush is kind of on the rough side, but I think it's doing pretty well because I can't see myself in the mirror. Don't worry, I'll do a second dip. And going in for a second time, just in case. Don't worry, once I blend, it's gonna look a lot better. Depending on the photos. I'm going in with the Dome Shadow brush into the first shade in row 3, which is a little shimmery bronzy bronze. I know they say don't put shimmers in the crease, but it's makeup. It ends up being wiped off at the end of the day or night if you're a night owl. I prefer rounded brushes, to tell you the truth. And again, to my crease. That kind of felt like one of my old paint brushes from art class. So I'm gonna use the Elite Brow brush to go into row 2, shade 3, because on my little Urban Decay guide, it kind of tells which shade is positioned. And another good thing I like about Coastal Scents, since I'm visually impaired they did help me on palette descriptions because they don't have that on their website directly. I wish more websites did, in a way, but I'm glad they helped me out with palette shade descriptions on which one's which, including this one. I'm going back to that later because I do want to use the blushes. Okay, to blend all these colors together, I am going to use the brush right next to the first brush that I used to apply my lid. To kind of get it blended together to get rid of those sharp edges that my definer might have, and blend it all together so no rough edges. I know it's nice to have one of those flat brushes, but not my thing. I would probably use that brush again for probably putting on eyeshadow primer. Okay. Up next is liner. I got this eye pencil, or shall I say multi-purpose liner pencil from them. It was the choice between this or their liquid liner, but I did not want to take a chance on having it run down my face, and this is known as their Express Liner Pencil in black, and it's multi-purpose. I could also use it as lip liner, but I don't wear black lipstick like I used to, or, well, I do have gunmetal lipstick, but don't wear it as often. Do mainly wear blue. Not too bad of a liner. Even though it's a little bit on the pokey side. I figured just getting it in black would be a lot easier to play around with. Even though I have so many black liners and the black ink liners, which I'm getting another one in my Glam Back Plus. Yay. I know, I'm not too excited about that because I put sometimes now on black eyeliners, because last time I got a different color eyeliner, don't mind me, I am cleaning up a little bit, was December, and that was the gold one. They have a blue liner and Ipsy choice for either side. I am choosing that one. Alright, going with mascara. They didn't have any mascaras, which is a bummer in a way. I understand they do expire, but I feel like they should have had some. I'm not sure if they did in the past. There were times when I hardly went back to the website, even after I moved. Last time I went when I moved in was to get my starter custom palette when they were, I think they were doing a sale back then. But I don't. I did get a few more of the blue shades because I hit pan on a few, and probably about hit pan on my purple shade in that palette, so I got a refill of that. And that was like late February. So I am going with a random mascara because they didn't have any. So I am gonna take one from my work kit. Ooh, my Flower Beauty one. I'm using my Lash Warrior mascara from Flower Beauty for this one. And I just put the Ulta Lash Primer. I've been using lash primers because last spring I was going through a major allergy moment and I found out what was going on, and I found out the hard way later on. It was the e.l.f. lash primer and eyebrow gel that I was using for work purposes. It was causing my eyes to water, so I stopped using it altogether and started wearing lash primers for my mascara so they won't flake. Again, I've been wearing lash primers. I tried out the Lash Paradise one, using the Ulta one right now, and I do have one from e.l.f. which I feel like trying out. Hope it doesn't do the same thing like it did before. Alrighty, on to the face. So I'm gonna be using my e.l.f. under eye cream as my primer for my what is it, under eyes. And for my face primer, since I didn't have any of those, my e.l.f. poreless primer. Gonna have a bit of a small rant with this. This primer is creamier than the eye one. I don't know why, but they didn't make it creamier. I know they said the Rose Eye Putty Eye Primer is creamier, but I didn't feel like trying it out. I just tossed out the white one. But still, I'm like, at least not e.l.f., NYX has it right with their primer in the jar. I could have gotten the lip lock, but that runs out way too fast. That's what I hated about using those ones that come in the wand packaging. Okay, next for under eye concealer. That was a good thing that they did have, and it is their concealer quad, and I got it in light. They did have one in pots that you could get for a customizable palette, but I went with this because it's a lot easier and I didn't want to screw up in selecting a shade. Okay, I am going to be using the, where's that doe foot? Found the doe foot. Gonna use the doe foot applicator from the brush set to put on shade number 2. The quad looks like this. Oh god, I'm not sure if it's the brush, but this feels a little stiff. I know they have the camouflage concealer, or shall I say eclipse concealer palette, but I don't know how this would go. Yeah, it did apply. Let me put a little bit more on. I don't know, this feels a little sticky. I'm trying to... It's not too bad, but it's a little bit on the stickier side. I think it's because they want a good grip on your under eyes. At least this was like $5 on the website. Not a big fan of it. Another product that they didn't have is foundation. I thought they did, but they didn't, and I'm using my CoverGirl Clean in classic beige. Almost out of this bottle. Don't worry, I have a backup. And I am using the foundation brush to spread this out. I'm sorry, it's just it feels so different. It's been a while since I used the foundation brush. I've been using mainly my spongies, blendy spongies. Even though this brush does feel pretty soft, it's not doing terribly, but I kind of feel like I'm better off using my spongies. But for the sake of this video, I wish I was using my Becca foundation. Maybe it would apply better with that. I think it's because I have to dot the CoverGirl one. Oh, all of my different face areas. Why am I using a scrunchie to wipe my brush? Trying using one of my lacy scrunchies. I've been getting more into hair scrunchies lately. I was supposed to use the doe foot for, oops, I kind of mixed that up. Oops. My bad. Well, wouldn't be too bad of a different brush situation. Guess I could use this brush to put on my Gigi Gorgeous translucent powder. Okay, putting this powder on top of this concealer is not great. I kind of feel like it is kind of dragging. A bit. Ugh. I don't know. It was not my favorite. Alright. Gonna use this big powder brush to put the powder all over my face. At least it doesn't tickle like the vegan brushes. Because when I first used those brushes, it tickled the crap out of me. If you've seen the multi-parter video of that. I wonder if they fixed the camera on the tab A to record, even though I did remember Richard's camera did split up most of the videos into parts. But at least that was fixed. Okay, next would be this brush to put on my bronzer. And I got it in these little, like I said, customizable pots. And I got it in Elusive Dream. What I found interesting, they said this was mainly a blush, but it said once you clicked on it, or double tap if you were using a phone, it said best used for bronzer. And they even say bronzer on the packaging when I got it. Gonna put this on the outer portions of my cheeks. I don't know why, but I kind of feel like, I think I know why, because I kind of had some skin irritation. I am taking better care of my skin. A lot more lately. I'll definitely put this into a magnetic Z palette because, well, I know I was gonna mention it later, but I should mention it now. Now with the angled brush, I'm going up, found it, angled brush. I'm going back into the 26 Eye and Face palette for the first blush. As I was trying to say, the magnetic palettes are kind of on the flimsy side, and they should improve on those, because a month after I got my magnetic palette, I ended up breaking it, like the hinge just broke off. And just got a new Z palette all together, and those are a lot more sturdy. So now with the angled multi-purpose brush, I will be using this new NYX Moonlight-ish highlighter, which is like a cream to powder formula to dust. On my cheeky cheeks. Got this when they were doing a bit of a sale for platinum and diamond account holders for Ulta, and so I decided why not. I know they were doing it on some skincare products, I believe, as well. It's been a bit, because I know 21 Days of Beauty just passed, and got a few of my skincare favorites for half off, which I'm thinking of doing a collective haul over on the website. Yeah, and for those of you who don't know, now Nerdy Shique Universe is a full-on website, so no more WordPress.com, now it's a .com. So you'll be seeing that in the description box down below. Okay, now I'm gonna blendy all this together. And now onto the setting spray. Which I am, again, no setting spray from Coastal Scents, which really Coastal Scents. No setting sprays for your found the cap for your customers. Oh well. I'll kind of say something about that. And this is the Tarte Shape Tape setting spray, by the way. I picked it up as an add-on from Ipsy. For my lips, by the way, I should do that while I'm here, if I could find it. Yeah, it's here. Found it. I got this lippy quad because some of their lipsticks were sold out. Did not know what to choose, so I went with this lip quad, and it came with the brush. See how it goes. Going in with the second shade. At least it came with a brush. Pretty creamy. I got in the very quad. Just not too bad of a pick. Definitely will definitely be using this more often. All right. My thoughts on the products. The concealer that I was using, it was okay. The brushes performed pretty well. I mean, it was hard to put on the concealer though. I kind of feel like the concealer could have been a little bit more creamier, or I may have to put that on with the finger. Who knows? I did like the lip product. I also did like the blush and bronzer and the eyeshadows I used. I wish I did not use that flat that flat brush. I should have used one of the rounder ones to do the definer, but not too bad. The eyeliner was a little bit on the pokey side, but after sharpening it a couple of times, it'll be better. I kind of feel like Coastal Scents should upgrade their packaging on some of the cardboard um, shadows, shadow palettes. Kind of make it look like more of these, of the, let me bring it up. These more sturdy ones, because these could hold up even if you're a makeup artist and you need to have your shadow palettes with you at all times in a tote bag, or probably in a humongous caboodle, like one of those makeup kits in rolly bags, because I've seen those in like in I think a cosmetology school near where my parents live, and I think having the packaging like this would be more beneficial. Definitely the brushes are pretty well made, and they are pretty well packed into their ferrules. I did not have any I don't know if I had any shedding issues, but it was, they did perform pretty well. The only brush that I did not like was the flat brush, but the brushes alone are pretty well made. Also, I have some of the other brush sets, like the Vanity Affair one that came in a cup, a basic one, and the 22 brush set one. Those performed very well, by the way, and this one performed pretty well too. And to me, if they were also be able to expand their products, I think a lot more people would notice them, because they don't have foundation, they just have concealer and lip products and blushes and bronzers. I understand it's kind of a bit hard to get the shades right depending on your what shade range you're working with. I know back in the past, Tarte had an issue with their Shape Tape foundation where they didn't release enough shades at one point when they first launched. I know Fenty released like 40 or 50, and one other brand released around 50 and went from darkest to lightest. If Coastal Scents have released powders, foundations, concealers in more of the jar fashion, not like they do in the pots, I think they would work a lot better in the jar, like what NYX did before. I prefer that over that little palette, in my opinion. Also, do setting sprays. I mean, they could do a lot more, and also release more shadow palettes, like come out with new ones. ColourPop is always coming out with new ones almost every week or month of monochromatic colors. I mean, look what they're doing. I got the Nude Mood palette, which is pretty nice, out of the entire monochromatic collection. To me, they could do the monochromatic, because they have so many shades to work with. I mean, they have so many purples, blues, browns, blacks, greens, silvers. I mean, they have it all, and it's like they could do a little bit more with that, besides doing eyeshadow pans and customization. Because the last video that I see on Google, besides my Revealed Rouge palette from last year, was Jordan Byers back in 2017. And that's kind of sad, because this brand could do a lot more. And in order to also update the packaging and also do a little bit more with the affiliate program, I did mention back in the past, I used to do the affiliate program to get some more cash, because well, living with my parents, and I don't want to go into an entire story of that. I did not have much cash to use towards makeup, including this brand at the time. Yes, I could have gone the sales. Again, they could do a lot more, and that's why I did the affiliate program to try to get more cash, and that's why I put the links in my descriptions on my videos. But I don't think anybody went for the products, so yeah, I kind of stopped with that. And again, they could do a lot more, and I could kind of see why they're being a little bit on the forgotten side. And yes, they do push sales, but there is more to a makeup brand than just sales. It's just that if they're willing to expand and go with the trends, because I'm going to be mentioning that with the MAC video, because Thomas Halbert did a really good video about why MAC is failing, and MAC has been forgotten. So I'm going to be doing that, but my next video in this series, it's going to take me a bit to pick up some of the products, and I'm going with Smoky Glow on this one. Is Smashbox. Smashbox has not been mentioned as much here on the YouTube side of things, and I think that would be a really good thing to talk about and bring them up. And of course, I've been hearing so many people were decluttering their cover shot palettes, but I haven't, because I enjoy those things, and I'll try to pick up some products. I definitely want to try out their replacements for those shadow trios that came like a photo lens in a way. So yep, you'll be expecting that. So make sure you follow us on here on YouTube, like, subscribe, hit that bell icon so you would know when a new video has been up. Follow us on Twitter at Nerdy Shique, and make sure you also follow our website nerdyshiqueuniverse.com, which is where I would be posting most of my other content, and also we would be putting more update video, putting a little more content as time goes on. Because sorry if we didn't put up Omni Fandom Expo, because a lot of events have been canceled and pushed back to a year later or months later, because you won't be getting that content until around August. So just stay tuned for more videos. Until next time, stay beautiful.